Indrid here, 3v3, Deathworld Temple, blue side. First up is Illethor, plays a Warlock melee commander with great disruption and mobility. Can also tank damage with the right war gear. Alongside, Rags no Chinkonka is a Warboss, angry melee commander that walks through cover, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Can also be incredibly tough late game. And rounding out the blue team is Kickin, plays a force commander, good offense. Versatile though, can tank, disrupt and support with buffs, fights in melee combat, that's Blood Ravens. On the red team we have X-Ray Dog to be exact, plays an Apothecary. This is Legion of the Damned scheme, support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Alongside, look who it is, it's me, aren't you lucky, plays a Plague Champion of course. Starts with a range damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, good versatility and utility, but is slow, can also build turrets and repair. And rounding off the red team is Osinski, is a big scary Chaos Lord, look at him go, walks through cover, there he goes. Good offense and disruption, very destructive and difficult to deal with. Tactical Marines who are fleeing for their lives. X with some Tactical Marines, Osinski with some Chaos Space Marines. I'm not going to really remember what the heck happened in this game, was 4 or 5 days ago I think. Rags with double shooters, some Howling Banshees for Illethor, Kickin with some Tactical Marines of his own. And this is not an Overwatch mistake, which I often do, but I did mean to get 3 heretics because I like to use double grenade launcher builds early on. Look at that, much like the Seismic Roar, if you use the Warboss's Stomp in retreat path you can really screw up with the retreating squad and get some extra kills. But anyway, yeah, big fan of the double grenade launcher heretics with aspiring champion heretics as well, and CSM in amongst. Can really apply a lot of pressure in tier 1. Need to be careful of course with plasma cannons and weird boys and stuff, absolutely giving the hell out of your heretics in tier 2 though. 491435, we'll see how it works out for me. X with double Tactical Marines, awesome. Putting a lot of pressure on us here, and the Warboss is decapping that wreck point, isn't he annoying? And here he is charging in with Angry Bits. Does manage to disrupt a few heretics, and there's a heal from the Apothecary, look at that. And I do get my double grenade launchers up early, 20 power and 75 rep for heretic grenade launchers. Basically a miniature artillery weapon. Has some good disruption, and X is going to take down that Warboss with melee attacks alongside the Plague Champion's damage over time, which is so good at taking down retreating commanders. I find 483, 426. Now using his double attacks in melee stance to really put some pressure on these light infantry Orks and Eldar. He already has the Master Pocket Bolter as well. Great choice versus the Warlock and the Warboss in mid. Can really shut down and disrupt both of them. I imagine Illethor wants to get a Merciless Switchblade, but as I said, I'm not sure what everyone got. A Pain Boy on the way for Rags. Osinski with some Havocs. Setup team with a Heavy Bolter. This will suppress infantry. They've already lost a model for some reason. Force Commander smacked them around with his Chainsword perhaps. Classic matchup on this east side, Force Commander versus Chaos Lord. Is he going to go for the Mantle of Hate? I come over to try and support. Damage over time on the Force Commander. And Kickin makes a mistake here. Completely bypasses my Plague Champion. Could have shut him down with some melee or used the Tactical Marines to do so, but in the end I do quite a lot of damage to that Force Commander with his Bolter. West side, Warboss is still down there, 483, 394. Howling Banshees are up. Shotgun Scouts though as well. And they're getting a Sergeant. 479, 394. No, oh, they have Aspect of Strength on the way. And there you see hollow fields from the Rangers infiltrating all of this stuff, making it even more annoying to deal with. They're doing very well so far though. Have all 3 VPs nearly. None of them are natural on this map really. The east and west VPs are very slightly closer to opposite sides of the map, where it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. They're all still contested. And I come over to try and help Bash Power, just let X know that he's on his own. I have AC Heretics, as does Osinski, some Eternal War CSM and my Plague Champion, so we do make short work of these generators, and we have Osinski's Havocs to cover us. But look at this, Orks decide to join the party, Pain Boy and Sluggers in retreat path there, so I want to make sure I pull my units towards the Havocs, so I don't really want to retreat through that stuff. The Pain Boy does manage to slip through that suppression. Oh, look at that. 429, 394. And he has that awesome power melee damage and that very powerful heal over time. There's a jump from the Assault Marines, a bad engagement for us. I basically need to get the hell out of here, put some Nurgle Worship in retreat path to try and make sure my stuff gets away. 429, 394, and I think it does. I lose a bunch of Heretics, lost 6 off this squad, 2 off this squad, and 1 off this squad. So it could have been worse. Assault Marines jumping again, and full retreat from me. That's a long retreat back. The Apothecary has gone down. Here he is. Banshees synergize very well with Rangers. They can set up runs with their kinetic pulse, knocking stuff over. Banshees run in and chop you up. And Illethor, especially, I think, is very, very good at using Rangers in team games. 429, 370. There's a double cap for the blue team. They're going to get a triple here. Turned it around, and ill-informed. Oh, we did completely wipe this power, so I suppose those heretic losses were well worth it. I'm not sure how Osinski fared, but he doesn't seem to have lost anything. And everyone goes tier 2 on the red team. Pain Boy getting suppressed here, and that's how you got to deal with him. You've got to get that suppression on the field, try and force the Orc player to get Storm Boys, and then you can counter initiate them. And Paint, the Plague Champion, is the master of counter initiation with Fetid, that Plague Sword he can get, Icon of Nurgle, the Fist, and Touch of Nurgle Heretics. Of course, he can really hurt jump squads and punish them from jumping in. 429, 300, triple cap for blue. We're taking the west though. Osinski pushing the east again, and I'm capping mid under some Nurgle Worship. Here comes the Warboss. He's quite low, but does have Cyborg in response to my Aspiring Champion Heretics and Angry Bits, and there's the Angry Bits charge. And he disrupts my CSM, and he's right in amongst them, and there is Hard Boys up on him. Was that an Apothecary heal? It was an Apothecary heal. 429, 268. I do have Fetid armor for the Unholy Stench, and there is Touch of Nurgle on my Heretics. I really do use the crap out of this global. I love it. It did get nerfed recently in 2.2. Now lasts 25 seconds instead of 30, but I am not too bothered about that. Pretty justified change, I think. 30 seconds is a bit nuts. I would like it to be able to be used on allied squads. I think that would be awesome, even if it needs to be reduced in duration again. 417, 268 might be a bit too strong then, maybe, perhaps. Warboss is down again. Plague Champion down every time. I think got him again. And I get my trusty Plague Marines, my go-to unit for tier 2. I just love these guys. Missile Launcher, which snares vehicles, decent damage to all targets, can use them to tie things up in melee with some very, very scary Touch of Nurgle synergy with their death explosions. 401, 268.
A Warlock has arrived to guide us to
There's a Guardian Energy Shield, providing perfect cover for units just behind or in front of it. 2-to-1 cap for red. Stone Guard Veterans for X, with their Hellfire rounds loaded in, damage over time versus commanders and light infantry. Does Illethor get Dark Reapers in this game? I'm not sure. Kicking off on the east side big time. Osinski taking on the Orks. There are sluggers with burners and user chop as well, and a Nob Leader. When you see the Pain Boy heal going off on sluggers, you basically want to switch targets, I think. Especially in tier 1, you'll rarely have the damage to really put pressure on them with that heal going off. A lot of players get tunnel vision when they see that heal go off. They want to out DPS it. You should try and switch targets to the Pain Boy if you can. 365, 268. Sluggers just about getting away. Osinski doing very, very well against that double. Beautifully done. 358, 268. Nice one, Indrid. What did I do? No idea. 352, 268. I have my Mucus Discharge. I think I just forced off the Eldar. Yes. Now, my first order of call for tier 2 after I got my Plague Marines was to get aspiring champions for my grenade launch heretics, because I don't want them dying in a flash. And we have a power claw warboss to deal with now. 316268. Wow, I took tons of losses there. Look at my squads, all depleted. 306268. There's the weird boy with his warp vomit. Such an outrageously good stun. Some people are saying it's 10 seconds. I don't think it's quite that long. I think it's 6 or 7. 291268. Triple cap for us. The cap status can really change quickly on this map though. That's a purification vials from the Apothecary. As you can see here, just using my Plague Marines in melee combat. 266, 268. Plague Champion uses his Unholy Stench and runs away. Still using my Plague Marines in melee combat. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this? Yeah, it's touch of Nuggle. There it is. Boom. I think I lose the squad here, do I? 238, 268. Forced off the Orks with the awesome synergy between Plague Marines and Touch of Nuggle. It's really powerful. But they need to run away here. There we go, I don't lose them. Power Claw Warboss smacking on Tactical Marines, but he does go down. That's the 3rd time I think he's gone down. Tactical Marines hitting level 2. That weird boy is a pain in the arse though. And there's a Breath of Nurgle heal, but you might need to run away here. Indrid. Nope. Disruptive Grenade Barrage is almost dodged by those Banshees. A Dreadnought on the field from X and Wraithguard, as you may have noticed. Really cool range squad, I think. Short range artillery pretty much that can't be suppressed, and they're also pretty damn tough. Heavy infantry with 2,400 hit points with their Warlock leader who gives them Wraith Sight, meaning they move faster. My Plague Champion almost going down, just about got that Breath of Nurgle heal off. Now split your units, Indrid. Better than that, faster than that, you fool. The zap jumping to those other heretics. Didn't even split them again, you freaking idiot. Jumped again. That does, I think it's 50 damage per jump, which is really painful for heretics. Osinski doing well on the east side. Now has Blood Maul fully kitted out his Chaos Lord. Mantle of Fate, he does have it. And Demonic Massage. Submarines jumping in. Melter Bomb on that Dreadnought, and it's taking Lascannon hits now. This could be a dead Dreadnought if he doesn't move it. There is, what is it called? Sweeping Doom? Yes. Dreadnought is taking big hits. You may not have noticed, it's not always completely obvious when you're taking Lascannon or Beamy Death Gun hits, but a Dreadnought goes down. There's some Corn Worship. CSM in retreat path, but they have Mark of Zinch, not Mark of Corn, which would have been very nasty there. What's going on? Mid, it's all kicking off. Weird Boy with a Warp Vomit again. Banshee's chasing off my entire army pretty much. My Plague Champion and Plague Marines are still around, and there is Distort Field, or Distortion Field, or whatever that global is called, for the Warlock. Dreadnought's done well, but this is going to be a painful retreat for X. I have to retreat through Banshees, and a Warlock level 4 has Witchblade of Kernus, Cloak of Shadows, 132, 266, grenades his own Warlock there. I'm coming in trying to put some pressure on this little blob of Dire Avengers, and there is the Ethereal Slash, nasty 123, 266. That passive leap that the Warlock has is so annoying. Knockback is always useful, so it scales very well. Scouts being sneaky, as they do. Tactical Marines with Sergeant 4. Kickin X with double Dreadnoughts. This one goes down though. Or does it? Shotgun Blast saving them. Saving it, I should say. But it's still being chased, and a Weird Boy shot takes it down. Does have another one though. Ouch. Wraithguard are nasty. Decide to force melee on them with my Plague Champion. The Plague Champion actually does pathetic damage in melee combat by default, much lower than say the Tech Marine, but it does have that slow, that damage over time and more health. 680 health, 110, 248, double cap bloodletters on the field for Osinski, bright yellow ones. Weird Boy still around. Devastator's now for Kickin with a Lascannon that we saw take down that Chaos Dread. X has, oh, he's gone for the Assault Cannon, still retains its inspiration, but does remove Emperor's Fist, as you saw on that tooltip. What's going on? Indrid trying to push again, what's he up to? Banshees with their Exarch, and a they're all infiltrating and stuff. I don't want any part of that infiltration gubbins, so I back the hell off. Warboss is going to revive the Force Commander, should level him to 4, there we go. Plague Champ is level 3. And CSM cap mid, well done. X has the West. And I'm tier 3. Wow, that must be the first time ever I got tier 3 first. I'm usually very late to tier 3 because I like heavy tier 2s. 85-227. A double cap ups. There is Zap. Do I manage to split in time? Well done, Indrid. Twit. First time ever you've done that, I think. And there's a heal from the Apothecary. Nice. Stone Guard are still level 1 and a big ranged fight, and there are stick bombs coming in. Ouch. Don't dodge at all, Indrid. Just stand there. Well done. Heretics run away. The CSM need to run away. There's stun bombs. Just about getting away there. Painful is still being annoying, and this is where I lose my Plague Marines. I think I tried to use Touch of Nurgle again, but just get into melee combat a bit too late, and he spots it and moves away, and I lose the last model. Fail. 48-227. The west side, sorry, is still red, and those Dire Avengers were absolutely owned by the Dreadnought and Stone Guard and Tax. And Warlock gets full auto in his face and uses the Witch Blade of Kernus. Is he going to take him down here? Needs to force melee combat, then stop forcing melee combat and shoot him. Stop running, there we go. Dreadnought should take him down. Boom. Yes, so satisfying to take down the Warlock. Kickin is capping east and has a Dreadnought of his own. I have a Chaos Predator. 36-226. Blue team with a huge VP deficit to make up here. Rags goes tier 3. Illethor already there, and he's floating insane amounts of wreck, over 1,000. Weird Boy still being annoying. He gains energy, by the way, when nearby Orks use War. That's why he has so much. 575 sounds nuts, but his abilities actually cost a lot of energy to activate. And I go for Mark of Corn, which I really like. Shreds infantry pretty nicely with the damage buff to the heavy bolters on the sponsons. 36-218. CSM leveling up for Osinski to level 2. Assault Marines jumping on the Havocs, initiating the engagement, but then counter-initiated by the Heretics. Here comes the Dreadnought though. 36-218 is all kicking off. How much damage my Predator tank took there? What the heck did that? Was that the stick bombs? Here comes the Warboss, and I can't seem to move my tank. I think I lose my tank here. Look at that rear armor here. He won't move, and I lose it. Absolute fail. It did very little, but it just wouldn't move. Sometimes tank parting just completely fails. Do my CSM get away at least? Looks like they do. Just about. Down to 1 model. And I lost my AC Heretics. A terrible engagement for me. 23-218. Still have a 2-1. Plasma Tactical Marines for Kickin, and I decided to get revenge with some Noxious Cloud, which does quite well on the shooters. Does it wipe out a squad? It does wipe out a squad, awesome. 14-218, Noxious Cloud now very slow in elite mod. So once something retreats, it's pretty much over. 9-218, red team so close to victory. Blue team have the east though. Here comes Osinski with some bloodletters to retake. And at the moment I'm letting my team down. Lost my Predator tank in seconds basically. And I had an upgrade for it, so it was even worse. Lost a bunch of CSM, who have Marcos each now. Rags has his stick bombers. And Knob Squad on the way. Fun. 6-217. Tier 3 for Kickin, and he's floating tons of red and wreck. So you're going to save for Terminators, needs 100 power. Fire Prism and D-Cannon for Illethor. We're really up against it now. It's a 1-to-1 cap, and they only have 6 VPs. But my army got absolutely trashed. Osinski with a Phobos on the way, 6-215. Osinski really has done well on this east side. Bloodletters need to back away though. Don't want to fight a Dreadnoughts. Thunderhammer Force Commander as well. Chaos Lord, what level is this guy? He's level 4 and now has Armored Inferno. Wow, look at the pain inflicting on those tactical marines. He needs to run though. Dreadnought is there, as is the Thunderhammer. Sleeping Doom. Plasma Cannon sets up in a nice place. Just send my Great Uncommon right in there because I know we need to cap. There's Cloud of Flies. And there's my... Is that my Abyss? I'm not sure. I think it was 637. You guys can rewind the video and see whose it was. And I decide to get my melee Plague Champion Kickin with Plague Fist, Armor of Pestilence and the Icon of Nurgle, which is so useful at the end of games, preventing knockback with Pestilence and doing a lot of damage with Icon of Nurgle. Going to take this Dreadnought down, but my Great Kimo's taking so much damage. Run away, run away. That is Armor the Apothecary and Advanced Healing from X doing that healing effect. Die Warlock, he's using Providence. He's die. My Great King was going to go down here, but I'm okay with that. He's going to explode and do lots of nasty and nice things. One more Fire Prism shot, down he goes. He will explode on deck, healing allies and heavily damaging enemies. Hence the Force Commander backing the hell away there. No, why did X back away? Would have healed him. 620, there is the explosion. Wow. My Plague Champion is still there and he's capping. Level 6. Now he's kicking ass with this fist. I still only have double heretics now though. 6 13, a 2-to-1 cap. Osinski fighting over the east. And he's going to cap it. He's whacked everything out over there. Well done, Osinski. Kickin lost a lot. X-Ray with 2 plasma cannons, but he's losing a lot as well. I decided to drop my Abyss. That one was my Abyss, I remember that. Just trying to stop them capping. But down goes the Apothecary. My Plague Champion is in retreat, gets away. 6-1. It's a 1-to-1 cap. My Heretics need to come mid and help out level 4. 1-to-1 cap, and they start capping mid. Is it all over? Plasma Cannon stopping the cap here, pretty much saving us. Well, here comes an off spot to tear them to shreds. GG says X, he thinks it's over. But here come my super duper Heretics to save the day with a grenade barrage. And X is going west. 6-1. Just need to stop this cap for a little while longer. I don't think we can anymore, but can X decapping time. Banshees are there. That's a singularity, but it will take a while to go off. And there's the decap. There's a single for us because we have the east, thanks to Osinski. And they can't cap the mid in time, and there it is. 0-1. You do not get a closer game than that. Look how close they were to capping, and if they did, the singularity would have gone off. In fact, it did start going off already. There you see it. Wow. Single cap at the end. My double Heretics, which died so much, saving the day with their grenade barrage there, alongside those plasma cannons, which got absolutely owned, as you can see. So close. I did not play very well. Lost my Chaos Predators stupidly. My Plague Champion did very well. He's level 8. Look at the commanders. Level 7 Apothecary. Level 5 Chaos Lord Apothecary had improved medical equipment at the end there. Warlock level 6 and down in the middle. Level 9 Warboss. Good grief, how much damage was he doing with that claw? And a level 6 Force Commander. Osinski, I think, won it for us. Despite the lucky disruptions in mid, he held the east side at exactly the right time for us to win it. So he was the reason, pretty much. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.